Alright, so you know what I have not done in a long time? That's right, a game dev session. And I think I only have one to date on the entire channel. I've recorded a few, but usually they don't end up making it. I mean, I hope this one does, because I actually see this as an opportunity to talk about what's going on in the code in Chain Playground and what's been happening, why things are happening, and all sorts of cool stuff. So I left off the last video with this very frighteningly terrifying lava obelisk that has just appeared in lava spikes. Now, here's the thing. Lava spikes was made before 0.5, like literally most of the levels that have ever been uploaded on Chain Playground. And that means they are very special. They are like grandfathered in to the rest of the game. And that's because the old level saving and loading system had a bug. I mean, it worked, but not how I tried to program it. I had an idea for the file structure and how it was supposed to work, and maybe I'll get into that at some point, but it's not important. The thing that's important is that it wasn't encoding it quite right. It made an error in calculating certain lengths, but the thing is, the decoding process also made like that same mistake, so you would never catch the error if you saved a level in one and like in the old level system and loaded it back with the old level system. But I decided to rewrite the level system because I was adding new features in 0.5, like new features and new stuff, so I thought I may as well make the new level saver and loader look nice, like have nice clean code. But when I ran it on old levels, it didn't work. It threw errors like index out of range and stuff, so I'm like, what's going on? So I looked into it, and I still haven't figured out what the bug is. It's been months. I stopped looking at it, or stopped trying to figure out after not very long, but still. I don't know quite what the issue is. I know it has something to do with the lengths of binary chunks. But that issue is one that prevents old levels from even being readable by the new, properly written, mind you, level loading and saving system. So I thought, okay, here's what I'll do. All levels will go straight to the old level system, and as soon as that one sees a data format tag, or property, is it an element? No, it's a property. It's a data format property on the file info element in the header chunk. I definitely need to make a video about the file format at some point. But as soon as the old level data or the level loader sees that, it was implemented in a patch, it will just stop what it's doing and send the level data over to the new level loading system. And that was working fine until, of course, the grand state control change update. Like I said, that broke so much. And it introduced a bug where if I loaded a level, the state control thing would work the first time, but then when you loaded it again, like loading it fresh from the level browser, it would be broken. Everything would be in the global state, and as soon as you interacted with a node, it threw an error. And no functions would happen at all. And I still never even quite figured out the real reason behind that one either, but given the errors that I was given and what they actually mean, I made some generalizations and some assumptions, operated on those, and ended up getting it to work, but at the expense of completely reversing the process that I have just talked about. So now what happens is the new level loading system attempts to load level data, but if the level loader, or the level deserializer, as it's called, encounters an error, like it throws an error, it will then run it through the old one, because of that glitch, every old level will cause it to throw an exception. So then it runs it through the old level system, but not quite. I'll get to that. And then it lets the old level system do its thing. Okay, now I'm to the point where I actually talk about what it's really doing. So what I did is I migrated the old level loading code to something called the reserializer. What that does is it processes the old level data and pretends to instantiate the objects and configure them. But it's not actually making game objects. it is making virtual game objects. I made a little emulation of Unity's hierarchy system and component system, and it constructs the level in that. And then I made a variant of the level saver, like the modern level saver, that runs through that and saves the level. And then it takes that binary that it puts out and spits it out of that function and then puts it back into the new modern level loader. So every level that is from before 0.5 is actually getting its data converted to the 0.5 format and then loaded normally. And I have a sneaking suspicion that this Obelisk right here is a result of that. I mean, because think about it. Do you remember that I increased the level size to 255 by 255? Well, 0 to 255 on both axes. Well, I thought, you know what's a smart way to use that? That's right. Every single coordinate is an 8-bit unsigned integer. So a byte. Because my mind's like, I don't need more precision. Why have it? So here's the thing about really small numbers, or really any number. Once you put in a value that's not in the range, or arithmetic causes the value to go outside the range, it wraps back around. Do you see where I'm going with this? I think the y-coordinate on this lava is wrapping around and going all the way back up. In fact, there's a really simple way to test it. Pause. Oops, nope. Okay, I want to scroll. Sure enough, and look what else we... Oh my god. Okay. Wow. It's in more than one spot. So here's what we learned. We've learned that that's correct. That assumption is like 99.9% chance to be correct. Fascinating. Fascinating. So, how do we fix it? Is this still recording? Yes. How do we fix it? It's pretty simple. I'm probably just going to clamp the coordinates. So, where does that happen? Let's look through my scripts. Save pack reserializer. Here we go. You get to see some Chain Playground source code. You see how disgusting this code looks? These 800 lines of code? This is the main reason that I completely rewrote the system. It looked atrocious. Like, I didn't do very much refactoring because I was scared I was going to break something. And, I mean, obviously I did. But that's what we're here for today. We're here to fix that, among other things. Okay. This is the transform stuff, right? Yeah, XYZ rotation, XYZW scale XY, and this one's Z. But since this is always the last one, it goes ahead and does the finalization thing. Okay, so I'm setting the positions of the LOM objects, which stands for Level Object Model. That's my little emulation of Unity stuff. That's setting its position and rotation and stuff. Okay, so it might be in the thing that processes the LOM objects. Sounds like I'm saying llama. Okay, that would be in here. So, upgrade virtual asset. Yeah, that generates the grid points. So, it's the upgrade virtual asset function. So, transform.position plus... And these are vector 3s. Okay. Snap to grid. So, yeah. Snap to grid would be the thing that did... Okay. Clamp 255. Okay, so what's my clamp 255 doing? That should be clamping it. I mean, but it's obviously not. Let's go back. Where's the code at? Okay, so let's follow the function call train again. It upgrades the virtual asset, and then it uses gridpoint.snapToGrid, and it puts in a vector 3. It automatically takes us to the right overload, which is this one. Actually, no, that's just a static function. That's not a constructor. And uses clamp 255 on 2 floats. And then it uses the grid point constructor of overload for floats. So clamp 255. It would be worth... I think it might be worth my while to make sure that those functions are working correctly. But before I start debug logging there, because that's going to get called a lot. I'm just going to look at that constructor. Math.round, so we're rounding it. Is it a rounding error? I don't know. I'm just going to get rid of the rounding real quick. Just see if getting rid of the rounding works. Because I know floating point numbers are weird. So, go back to Unity. And I'm only going to load one level. I'm just going to load the lava spikes level. Play. Oh! It's worse. We have a slanted thingy over here. Well, that just goes to show that this rounding is absolutely necessary. Again, follow the chain, upgrade virtual asset, snap to grid, float, x, okay, no, x equals clamp this, y equals paste debug dot log x plus, I'll just do this, I'm not going to bother with string formatting. Alright, what is this going to tell me? It's going to tell me the result of snap to grid. There's going to be like millions of these. Well, not millions, but what? I didn't think this through. What am I going to be looking for? Well, I guess I could look for values that are outside the range. So, very long pause, and here we are. How many do we got? We have 644. Okay. Looking for negative numbers or numbers greater than 255. There we are. Okay. That's a pretty simple fix. Wait. Okay, if it's supposed to be getting clamped, then why isn't it... What? Is my clamp function an absolute failure? Okay, if I have -1, the max of -1... Wait, it's going to want the min... Okay, wait. Okay, it wants the smallest. Oh, don't put value in there, because then... Yeah, that'll be -1. So it wants the max of value in 0. So if the value is like 256, I'm going to get 256 there. But if it's -1, I'll get 0. So then, okay, why do I have that there? What is that doing? Might have been a typo. Which means I don't need this. Actually, just... That should just do it. Alright. Now I won't get 644 debug logs. Slowing down my workflow. Lava spikes, here we go. Click play. Yay! No more obelisk. Okay. Nice. Is anything else broken in this level? Looks decently not broken. Okay, I want to get some momentum. There we go. Wait, why am I playing this level? That's not what I'm here for. I fixed a bug. Did I say gug? I fixed a bug. I fixed a bug, so destroy that and destroy this. So, what was next? Oh yeah, Grappling Hook. So the Grappling Hook code is also pretty old. I've been kind of refactoring it, but not really. So the thing that's next is... Actually, before I forget, I'm going to add something to the moon loader. Public static void unload script. What can I do? What functions do I got on script? Script dot if I just set it to null, will the garbage collector deal with it? I mean, I think so. That's kind of what my knowledge about garbage collection, or my limited knowledge about garbage collection would lead me to believe. So that means that needs to be called whenever you leave. And I've got just the function for that. It's a function called exit detector. Well, it's a script called exit detector. So on destroy, level player.exit, stay in dulp flag equals false, loader dot unload script. So yeah, that's another bug that I was finding in the video, was that the script that was loaded would continue to run in other levels. And while I'm at it, what was I doing with the grappling hook? Okay. It needed to fire the locked back event. No, locked on event for moving platforms. So, okay. So that seems like it should be as simple as if not mode. What does the lock on button do? Or lock on function? Okay, so that's actually, okay, undo that. So the lock on function needs to do slightly different things. So go to lock on, copy this code here. Well, cut it. Go back to this. This is the special functionality for that particular case. But after either of them, same thing ends up happening. We're locking on. Alright. Also, I'm going to turn off the music. I mean, I like it, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if other people will like it. I was kind of nervous about keeping it in the main video. It was actually a little louder than I expected. Tutorial. Alright, so launch, locked back, and realize there's no retracting one yet, so maybe that's next. Launched, latched, locked on. Alright. Is it sending that every frame? 587. 6, yep, it's sending that every frame. Nope. That's not supposed to be happening. It seems like there's actually a pretty simple way to do this. If this is not equal to the thing that I'm setting it to, then not only do I set it to that, and only do it once, call the lock on function. And over here, latch moving object. Okay, joint gets set right here. So that only needs to happen once. And the cool way that I can tell if it's happening every frame is that the little blue light on the toast stays on. Wait for it to come back. Alright, that was only once. Alright, what events are we missing? We've got launch, locked back, and we've got latch, we've got locked on. So we need the return one. Do I have that referenced in my Lua script? Hold on. Let's move that over here so that you can see. Launched, latched, locked on, locked back. That's not the button I meant to press. Hook. Retract? Is that what I call it? Retarct? Probably not. Retract. And make a function for that. And it needs to be called on... Well, I can call whatever I want. It's my function. On hook. Retract. I'll just call it the same name as the event, but with on. Hook. Retract. So that's my Lua script. My IDE of choice for Lua is currently Notepad++. I only showed it in Visual Studio to see if maybe the syntax highlighting looked any cooler. And it kind of did. Can I open recent? Open... Wait, recent files. I can. Why not? And... yeah, that actually looks cooler. So now I need to go get rid of the exit detector, get rid of the save pack reserializer, and what was I doing? Oh yeah, the retract. So the retract, I have the retract function getting called already, right? Retract, yeah. Fire event, hook retract event. So now that I've got that there, I should already start getting that if I go into the tutorial. Continue. Isn't 0.5.0 pre-9 available? There we go. Tutorial. Alright. Nice. So what are we missing now? If I go to my Lua script. Okay, what else can the hook do? So we got launch, latched, locked on, locked back, retract, detach. Hook, detached. I think I used past tense for that. On hook, detached, detached, hook, detached. So yeah, I'll get an error, a script runtime error, if that's not the right name anyway, so let's find out. And it should be getting fired already. right? Continue. Just ignore the update. Okay, so. Am I getting it? Didn't get an exception. Wait. Hook detached. Okay. Okay, it's locking back way too quickly, so let's do that. Like, oh, it was already doing retract immediately. So I guess the simple way to do this. Which one? Yeah, it's this one. I could just. That's way simpler. Comments in Lua are strange, but I like them. Yep, that's getting fired. Alright, so what now? So what else can it do? It can extend, but that event isn't firing yet. And it can also lock the distance that you're at, like it can lock your extension distance, which also is not getting fired yet. Let's work on implementing those then. There actually is no function for extend, so I'll just go ahead and write it. Well, actually, here's the thing. When does the extend event happen? Like, what action would constitute that event firing and firing once? I guess as soon as you touch scroll. I already have all actual events, like, in the Lua API, so I could just find it by name. Hook. Oh, hook extended fully event, hook extended to lock event, and hook extend. And it has no parameters. You can extend when you're latched onto something. Functional locked, that's when it's like holstered, I guess. Maybe I should call that holstered. I don't know. I'll just keep it as locked for now. Launching, latched. Okay. Where does the scroll happen? Scroll. If scroll not equal to 0 and joint. So that joint has to do with being latched onto moving platforms. I can't rely on that. So I need to make a new variable. Private bool was extending. Gonna be false. Probably like down here. Was extending equals extending. So that's gonna be no. That's gonna be a local variable that I'm gonna create right here. Nope, not public. What am I doing? Bool extending false. So let's do this. If joint, then destroy joint. And it's customary to have brackets around it according to Visual Studio. Extending equals true. If extending and not was extending, extend. There's no special functionality that needs other than just firing the event. So as soon as the scroll wheel starts rolling, like actually starts, not when it has already been rolling, we just go ahead and extend. So hook extend on hook extend hook extend. So yeah, that should be straightforward. How do I want to do this? Now I should be able to. That's completely taking up the entirety of my other monitor. There. Can I still see it? Yeah, okay. So okay, okay, every time. Okay, so yeah, I don't think that one should be a, and that's regardless of which direction I'm scrolling. Interesting. Actually, I know where this goes. I know exactly where this goes. So if the extension is 0 when we do this, actually, it shouldn't even have to be, right? Shouldn't it just be as long as it's not equal to the max distance? Yeah, I think so. As long as it's not equal to the max distance, then we can extend. clear. So... Alright, it does work every time I extend in the middle. Like if I... Yeah. Alright. I think that's a good place to take a break real quick. And maybe I'll upload this in parts. I think that would be pretty neat. So, thanks for watching, and bye.